With over 860,000 current job openings, digital marketers and digital marketing specialists remain one of the top 10 in-demand careers in 2022, according to LinkedIn. Meanwhile, according to Husson University, based on some of the highest paid marketing and advertising jobs that you'll find on the market, marketers can make easily $140,000 a year without a degree. However, that of course varies. Depending upon the chosen field you opt to enter. Corey Brown has done it all when it comes to marketing. He has a decade of experience and believes his talent is really working with teams and companies to develop marketing strategies to see their businesses and overall team dynamic and chemistry grow and blossom into something which makes them a lot of money. Brown knows how to hire inclusively and make sure that everyone is on the same team by implementing inclusive strategies when it comes to hiring and marketing to maximize your overall ability to be nimble, creative, thought-provoking, and inclusive. And he joined me this week to have a conversation about inclusive marketing, digital marketing, and building teams that can thrive. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Welcome you to the program, my friend, and I'm super excited to talk to you today about digital marketing. Great to see you, and thank you for a few minutes.
No problem. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. Now, Corey, I know that you have over a decade of experience in digital marketing, and you're all about helping organizations build teams and hiring inclusively to help them grow. So I'm wondering if you can give me sort of a 360-degree view of the good work that you do and why you're so fabulous.
Okay, so I'm currently the head of marketing for Risk 360. We are a cybersecurity firm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in marketing for 16 years now. And one of the main things that I've been able to do in my career is like build out teams. The teams of very diverse individuals. One of the main reasons that I do that is just because, being a black man in America, I always was told that, it's going to be hard for me to get into marketing, but several people took opportunities, gave me opportunities to expand my career. So I always make sure, no matter what, I give other people opportunities, no matter what their background is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know one of the biggest sort of priorities in your professional life is to be mission oriented in marketing and communications as a leader. So tell me in your judgment, what does it mean to be mission oriented?
So I think it's very, I feel like if you're pursuing a career in marketing, especially when you start moving into a leadership role, it's very good to learn what the mission is for the company and then starting to build your mission around your marketing department, your team, around what the company's mission is. So like I've worked for companies where the mission was to grow revenue 10x in a year, or like my current company, our mission is to outteach our competitors, being the best thought leaders in the industry. So figuring out what that is for the company, having those conversations with leadership to have a very clear mission, then it's kind of easier to start setting a mission for your team. So for like my team, our mission is to be, the most cost effective marketing department in the world. It's kind of a crazy mission to be on, but that's kind of what we do. And the whole aspect of our team is always figuring out the best ways to grow our company without, breaking the budget. So that's kind of what our mission is as a team. Clearly defining that, meeting with my team on a weekly basis. We do one-on-ones, we do team meetings, and always iterating like, this is what our mission is. Our mission is to out teach the competition. Our mission is to, get our brand out there as much as possible, in the most effective way as possible. So that's kind of, when I talk about mission, like being mission driven, that's what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you've developed sort of a proven track record of developing and executing sort of integrated marketing and communications plans from a start to finish. So, how do you, in your opinion, develop effective marketing plan that reaches a wide variety of people?
So for my marketing plan, I've written several, and it's always uniquely tailored to the business and what the company's mission is. I think the biggest part about building out the plan is really just have a clear understanding of what your team skill sets are and the people that you have on your team, and then figure out what gaps you have to fill. So like when I build out like a marketing plan for the year, I tend to look at data, look at what we did last year, look at what we want to do, and start figuring out the different things we need to do to increase maybe lead generation or MQLs or sales deceptive leads, and then figure out like the most effective way to do that. Sometimes it can be challenging, depending on what your budget is, but it's having the buy-in of your leadership team actually helps out a lot when it comes to that. So when I build out a plan, I always keep in mind of like what the overall goal is for the company, and then how does marketing play its part in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just before we move on, my friend, I can see Chauncey Billups' framed jersey over your head. So I'm wondering what the significance is that for you, and why do you have it there, Bud? I'm just curious.
So it's two reasons. So the first reason, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised in the 80s, so I grew up a Pistons fan. Chauncey Billups was one of my favorite players in the 2000s when they won their championship with the Wallace boys and under Larry Brown. And the other thing is I'm into my hobby. This is very important to always have a hobby. My hobby is actually sports memorabilia. So I do a lot of like sports cards. I buy a lot of jerseys and autographed basketballs. But Chauncey's on the wall right now. On my other walls, I have like autographed basketballs for other Detroit Pistons greats, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman. So that's why Chauncey's up behind me today.
Absolutely. Well, Corey, I'll tell you, buddy, that I live in Windsor, right across the river from Detroit. It's been a while since the Pistons have been relevant, but they're slowly and surely building a winner, hopefully, huh? As soon as they get Kate Cunningham back, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Cade and the rest of that team, Ivy, and the rest of this team develop into. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I used to go to Windsor. I can't even count how many times I've been to Canada, and in particular Windsor in my life. Like we used to go there every weekend as a teenager and as a kid. I used to go fishing there with my grandfather and my father. So pretty cool that you're in Windsor. I actually haven't been in Michigan in the wintertime in several years though. I do not miss the snow.
Well, we're supposed to get a snowstorm tomorrow, so I'm sure you're enjoying the Georgia heat, huh? When we have the Michigan winters, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I do not miss the winters. I think I do miss is like when the first snow falls and it's like beautiful outside. Like the ice is on the trees, the snow's on the ground. It's like really beautiful. I do miss that, seeing that part. I do not miss getting a shovel and having to dig ourselves out every day.
Oh, well, you wouldn't be the only one that's in that boat, my friend. But since you brought it up, my friend, so what's your favorite part about winter since you've been here so many times?
I think it's just the first snow. Just being able to see the first snow. As a kid, used to do like snowball fights. Me and my friends, we used to like build snowball towers and like have snowball fights. So I think that's like my favorite part about winter, and of course Christmas. I just had a daughter. She's 20 months old, 21 months old now. And being able to do Christmas with her and have her see toys and stuff like that, spend time with family. So I think that's probably my favorite part about winter. Not just the snow, but also the family season, being able to spend time with family.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm sure your daughter already has you wrapped around her finger, right, buddy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the way it works, isn't it?
Yep.
Absolutely. And, Corey, I'll share just a little bit about myself, my friend. So I was born with cerebral palsy, and outside of hosting this podcast, I work with businesses to make sure that they can elevate their hiring of folks with disabilities. So when you look at hiring inclusively and hiring folks with disabilities, I'm wondering from a marketing perspective, the competitive advantage it may give to a company if they hire folks with disabilities, in your opinion.
I think when it comes to, from a marketing perspective, hiring people with disabilities can just bring a different perspective to your hiring. I think especially when it comes to marketing, the more perspectives that you have, the more viewpoints that you have, makes your department better. You have a clear understanding of how someone else sees the world, the things people bring, their experiences. It just makes the team, no matter who you hire, you have to hire diversity. And if it's someone with disability, if someone's with different sexualities, different racial buildup, I always like having a team that's extremely diverse and bringing in their perspectives, bringing in their viewpoints that makes my team even better. So that's kind of one of the main reasons when you asked me to do the podcast and I looked into it. It's just like I really wanted to do it and just have a conversation around just hiring people with diverse backgrounds, giving people opportunities, because like I've had people giving me opportunities in my career. And also like I worked for Detroit Public Schools for several years. I worked there when I was a teenager, and then when I finished college for a few years. And when I ended up learning there, it's just like working with disabilities and different backgrounds. It's like you have to give people opportunity, and you'll give people opportunity to show their value, and also to bring experiences to you and viewpoints to you that you never had before. So that was one of the
Yeah.
biggest things when I worked in the school district, working with kids with just different backgrounds, and some had disabilities, some people had like a lot of trauma in their lives. Just being able to see how much me helping them and also them helping me learn and become a better person, how better I became because of it. So that was like when we talked about doing the show. That's one of the main reasons I was like, yeah, I really want to do it.
Well, I appreciate that, my friend. And also curious to ask you about the role you think employers play in sort of elevating the culture for folks with disabilities at work. Because, one of the things that I worked on extensively is educating employers about the positive benefits of hiring folks with disabilities. Because, a lot of business people don't know that it's easy or can bring sort of a lot of competitive advantages to a business when you hire people with disabilities. So, how important do you think it is from an educational standpoint to educate employers about the positive benefits of hiring someone with a disability?
I think it's very crucial for employers, not just the HR departments, but even like senior leadership, to take the opportunity to learn like what the benefits are, and also to see like bringing in people who have diverse backgrounds, who've gone through different things, who see the world differently, who've had different experiences, just makes you overall better. I do find in my course of my career, I've worked for several companies, and several of them have had employees with disabilities, and it just it didn't. I won't say it didn't matter, but the quality of work and the people that we were working with, it did. You saw that they were able to do the jobs that they were given. So that's what I always find. Like you can't, especially from my background, I think people should get out of their own ways and give people opportunities and actually learn and educate the whole business around why you should give people the opportunity to try and show you what they can do. I hope I
Yeah,
answered.
yeah, absolutely. And I know it's also important to you from a marketing perspective to really develop a collaborative culture, but also give you the autonomy to be independent. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about the balancing act of being collaborative and inclusive, and also being a sort of individual. Talk to me about the juggling or a balancing act when it comes to marketing from that perspective.
The balancing act from being like part of a team and then also being a individual contributor, it can be hard. I think it just is based on a person's mindset. Me personally, I've been an individual contributor. I've been a manager, director, and now I'm like the head of marketing for a company, and I still actually contribute as an individual every day for different things, just not just tell the team what to do. But I think it's a hard thing to balance for most people in the beginning of their careers. But as you go on, you start to learn, like, you know, I need to be here for my team. If the team succeeds, if we get this project done on time and we hit our revenue goal, the whole team succeeds. So even though this might not be your job, this might not be part of what was on your job description when you took the job, sometimes you have to step up and step in when something's needed. I think back at one point in my career, um, just my last company, I was brought in to be over B2B marketing, and the company wanted to expand their digital footprint on their B2C side of the operations. So I was asked to, I was running my own team, but I was asked to step in and make sure like digital marketing happened. And at first, it was just kind of like, it's not my job. But then I had to realize, like, if I do this well, the company succeeds. And if the company succeeds, I get a nice bonus financially, but also I'll help out my teammates. You never know when I need them and their support. So I remember stepping in and helping execute some stuff that had nothing to do what I was brought in to do. But being a team player, it kind of helped the overall team. I was still able to do my role, but also helped, build out some new things for the company for the first time. So I think
Yeah,
it's very clear to just be open minded because you never know when those opportunities sometimes turn into some of the best parts of your career, relationships that you build, the skill sets that you picked up that you might not have had before. Those things all help long term in your career because I think most of us don't want to do the same thing forever. We all kind of want to expand and try different things. And those opportunities to step up as a teammate and work as a team member, not just as an individual. Sometimes those are the reasons that you end up growing your career.
yeah. Well, still a sports term, Corey. Teamwork makes the dream work, doesn't it?
It does.
Absolutely. And, Corey, I'm also curious to ask you your opinion on the influence of social media and how that's made marketing more easier or more challenging, in your opinion.
So I've been dealing with social media 2000, Facebook, 2007. And it is probably, it's, I think it changed a lot when it comes to marketing, but the certain principles have not changed. You still need to know who your audience is. You still need to allocate a budget. You still need to have good messaging, good content in front of them. I think social media just made it easier for us to find people that we're looking for, find your audiences. I think part of it, like me being in B2B marketing for the majority of my career, LinkedIn has been great, having that social media where people are there in the business world to communicate and network has helped out a lot. It's one of the best channels to find B2B. I think from a B2C perspective, because I've run a lot of like Facebook and Twitter ads, and Instagram ads over the years, like especially my last company, I ended up building that out for the company. It actually helps you to find that audience for the first time. So when it comes to, has it made it easier from an audience perspective? Yes. From a trends perspective, no, because the trends around social media It's always a new platform. It's a TikTok or it's a Vine. It's something new every couple of years that might last, might not last. So figuring out the trends, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Like, what are the kids into now? What are people, what platform are they into now? Are they even set up to run ads correctly? How do you build thought leadership on this? How do you build an audience in this? Do you even want to be on here? That is the challenging part, is the trends and figuring out which one's the best one to work with. But I think it made it easier finding audiences.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey, I know that mentorship is important to this. So when you look at mentoring people in the field of marketing, and for those who may be considering this as a career, what do you think is your best piece of advice for someone that wants to be in this as a profession in terms of marketing? And I guess what would be your roadmap to success for anybody that may want to pursue a career in marketing?
I think it starts with education. Figure out your path. Marketing's so broad now that I know people who've gone in, like I have a communications degree, and I wanted my career to start off as a copywriter. And then shortly after becoming a copywriter, I decided I wanted to be a designer. And then I wanted to manage a team. And then I wanted to develop. When it comes to like getting your foot in the door, I think it's really good to figure out a skill set that companies will want, copywriting, design, and some of these skill sets that they're looking for when it comes to search engine marketing, social media marketing, just so many different courses you can take to just build out a good skill set to get into it. Once you get that skill set and you can say, okay, I can be a social media marketer because I have these certifications, I've taken these courses, I've, I've studied it, I know what I'm doing. Then it's kind of time to figure out what industry you want to go into. Um, Different industries that kind of helps you with your pay scale and different things because different industries pay differently, almost for the same role. But I find like figure out your marketing skill sets first that can get you in the door, and then find the industries that you want to pursue. When it comes to finding a mentor, I've just been lucky. I had a lot of great mentors just in my family growing up. When it comes to careers, but one of the things that I learned, one of my aunts told me once, is like you need to reach out and find people who do what you want to do, and just try to reach out to them, see if you can spark a conversation. You never know what you'll learn. So I think I was just junior or senior in college, and I went through a list of all. I wanted to go into marketing. I wanted to go into advertising, really advertising or marketing. I wanted to do a copywriter. So I found like all of these marketing companies around the country, and I figured, being African American, I might be able to have that conversation a little easier. So I found all the ones that were run by like African American companies, and I sent out like maybe 100 different emails to the people who are executives at those companies. It's like, hey, I really want to get this industry. I want to, could you give me any advice? What should I do? And like out of the 100 emails, probably like 5 people reach back out and give me a couple tips. And you should try to get this certification, or when you start looking for a job, maybe go through these types of agencies first, or do you want to be client side? Do you want to be agency side? Just I got a lot of good tips just from those conversations. And then once my career started, I just had some good managers, some good leaders, and I was always the one, even to this day. Well, I don't mind going to coffee with people, staying in touch, having those conversations around like what should I do next? How do I get to my next part of my career? I've had some really good mentors. I still have like I have one in particular that I still talk to her quite often. She actually hired me in my last company. Um, but as I mentor other people, I kind of I'm open to if anyone needs advice, anybody has any questions. The people that I've seen it does it that for me from a mentor perspective, the people that listen, the people who actually ask good questions and then put things into practice, those are the people I enjoy mentoring the most because they're not just looking for an easy solution. They know, like, I'm going to have 50 questions. I might as well start with these 5 and come back to court later on, and then just listen to what other people are saying, especially people who are further in their careers. Those are like the best mentees that I've worked with. I have several. I actually have one that works for me now that I've worked with him for the last couple companies. He's followed me, and I'm extremely proud of where he's accomplished in his career. And sometimes he actually quotes me to me, which is always a lot of fun.
That means you made impact and you're dating yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And Corey, the holidays are coming up in about a week and a half, my friend, and I'm curious, what's on your holiday wish list this weekend, my friend?
So for the holidays, I really my biggest wish list is just being able to spend time with my parents. They've had COVID for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't been able to see them. Spend time with them, spend time with my wife, my daughter, my sister. Like we always do a big family gathering. Materially wise, like I don't really want anything this year. I just kind of want to spend time with the family. It's not like it's nothing. It's not a gadget that I want this year. There's no anything in particular. It's just family time.
Well, we can quote the famous Christmas song, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," right? For
Yep.
family time, absolutely. Corey, my final question for you today has to do with your own personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
I think personal. I just want to be known as a good person, a good father, a good son, a good husband, a good friend. Being there for people who need me and that care about me, being there for them. Professional, it's I'm a head of marketing right now, and I kind of just want to continue to develop teams and to build out marketing organizations throughout my career. I've been pretty good at growing departments, growing sometimes even revenue through marketing. So I do look forward to continue to pursue that part of my career. Just be a growth guy, be a person that people can rely on to grow out their companies.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Corey, if people want to get connected with you and all the good work that you do, what's the best way they can do that?
The best way is to follow me on LinkedIn. I'm active on LinkedIn. I post almost every day. I'm always sharing marketing tips, always sharing from content marketing to program marketing to marketing operations. Also, I'm always sharing cool stuff that happens at our company. We are always hiring, especially in the cybersecurity place, and we're a pretty cool company to work for. So if you're interested in learning more about me or follow me, just follow me on LinkedIn. Just look for Corey Brown at Risk 360.
Fantastic. Well, Corey, I want to thank you for being here and sharing your expertise in the field of marketing and leadership, your work in the space. And time on my behalf is most appreciated. And I want to thank you for being here this afternoon.
But thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.